Political families are recollecting. Political coalitions are also underway. New political parties are also in formation, all in the race for 2027. Today, we're linking up again with Musa Akungu, one of the youngest political analysts in the Republic of Kenya, to get and to shed some light about the race for 2027. Will William Ruto survive after the 2027 election? Stay tuned. This is M04 TV. I'm Vincent Okinda.
Thank you so much, Vincent, for welcoming me again to your show. I'm very delighted to be here, and I'm very excited to know what the country is about. We are about to talk about local politics, geopolitics for Africa and all over the world. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Thank you, and welcome, Musa. Now, how do you see about maybe President Ruto? Is President Ruto a one-term president?
You know, Vincent, when you talk about politics in Kenya, you have to figure out how the economy is going, all about the politics all over. So when you talk about Ruto's term's presidency, I don't see when President Ruto is going to have an easy term to be a second-term president.
Yes.
Maybe he can be a second-term president, but not consecutive. You'll find out that now the economy is not doing very well. So people are not. They are going to go for a certain voting pattern where they get a new president to fix their problem. So I think it is going to be very tough for President Ruto for a second term. Yeah, it's going to be very tough.
For the 3 years that President Ruto has been at the helm, how do you rate his workability for the 3 years that we have enjoyed the UDA government?
You see, for the 3 years, Vincent,
yes,
we have gone through very many political disturbances.
Yeah.
The economy has not been doing well.
Yes.
There have been very many political factors like abductions. There have been these people who, let me say, like, economy has not been doing well. Like, if you see now the prices of unga, President Ruto came in when the prices were almost getting to 200, 250. But when he came to office,
yes,
he said that the prices will be, unga will go at 100 shillings. That has not happened. You see the things like healthcare. It has gone up. I saw a report in the newspaper today that it's called the NHIF.
Yes.
It will be double figures. So you see, such things will make it makes the government.
So it hasn't been a walk in the park for the 3 years that President Ruto with the UDA government have been at the helm.
No, it has been very tough.
All right.
Yes.
For the longest time, we've seen the presidency. Talk of Uhuru Kenyatta, talk of Emilio Mwai Kibaki, talk of maybe the previous regime of Moi also. Raila Amolo Odinga has been the man to look at him when it comes to opposition matters in the Republic of Kenya. But under this government of UDA led by President William Samoei Ruto, we have seen that for his admiration, that is Raila Amolo Odinga, to go for the higher seat, that is AUC chairmanship. I think, can we say like William Samoei Ruto has managed to cool down, or rather to calm down His Excellency, Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga?
You see, first of all, Raila Odinga, what brought him back to limelight was after the June 25th protest.
Yeah.
Raila Odinga was not in the limelight. After the protest is when President Ruto called Raila Amolo Odinga to the State House to come and discuss this thing called broad-based government. But before that, Raila was nowhere in the scene. It was the Gen Z who were fighting for good governance, the working systems, and everything in the economy of Kenya. Raila Odinga came after the protests were over. See, by that time, that is when Raila came and championed for his people to be there in the cabinet. But you see, Vincent, if we talk about the matter of these guys, Raila cooling down the tempo of the politicals of Kenya because of the AU chairmanship, that is not true. Let me tell you, when this guy on 16th or I don't know 26th,
yes,
he will fail terribly on that AU seat.
Yeah,
he will fail, and he will come back now to start to sabotage the government. Because he was given that seat to cool down. But whenever he goes there and fails, because we all know Raila is a perennial failure. He will fail again. Yes.
So do you feel, according to your statement, do you feel like these political families are just divided by the matter of interest? Because they're all fighting for an interest. When that interest they don't hit the target of the interest, they all have some division, and it's the normal mwananchi who suffers, according to that. Because we are seeing that during the hard situation, that is when Ruto ran to Raila, and then they all united. Do you feel like they're just divided by the matter of interest?
Politicians are one family.
Yes.
If the common mwananchi feels like if they feel like the common mwananchi is coming to get to know about their political plans,
yes,
they come together. They never want the common mwananchi to find out that they are not together. These people are always together. They are a family. They do business together. That's why when the politics in Kenya are so hot, you'll find Uhuru called Raila, Moi called Raila,
yes,
Ruto, who used to call Raila Mganga,
yes,
called Raila,
yes,
because if they feel their interests are being sabotaged,
yes,
they come together to fight the common mwananchi. These people are never for the common people. They are for their personal interests. Yes.
Now that His Excellency Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga is aiming for a higher seat in Africa, do you feel like we have any opposition in Kenya?
To some extent,
yes,
I feel the people of Kenya are their self-opposition. I can't tell whether Rigathi Gachagua is in opposition,
yes, or
he's just doing this because he was impeached.
Yes.
You see?
Yes.
These stories, they only escalate when your interests are sabotaged. So when I say about opposition, there are no strong opposition right now. With Raila going to AU and he cannot get engaged in local politics, there's no strong opposition. It's only the people of Kenya who they are their own opposition. So they are only fighting the government. They are to get better of themselves.
Right. Now we are seeing like the former deputy president, that is Rigathi Gachagua, was successfully withdrawn from the government. Now have Kindiki as the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya. Now the love of the president, he's trying to shift his love from the mountain, which made a very big significant difference to him gaining powers. He's now directing the love to the people of Western and people in Nyanza. Is it a gain or a loss for President Ruto?
To some extent, if you are being honest, it's a gain, but also when you look to another side, you find it's a loss. Because when I say it's a gain, President Ruto has some big political figures. Of course, Wetangula is there, Mudavadi, Didmas Baraza is there, someone like this MP, Parana,
yes,
and this, you see, those people are big political figures.
Yes.
So it's somewhat advantageous because these people are on his side.
Yeah.
But when you come to the common mwananchi, those people are not on his side. You heard what Peter Salessia was saying the other day. The healthcare system is not working. The SHA is not working.
Yes.
So how would you tell the common person that because Musalia Mudavadi is in the government and my mother is sick, cannot get treatment because Musalia Mudavadi is in government? That cannot work. You only win the people's heart when you work for the people, not when you work for the political people. And by the way, Vincent,
yes,
the political scheme of this era has really changed. We are not those people when you come, because you are an MP, you come and say, vote for this party, we are going to vote. No. The political system has changed and the dynamic has really changed. You tell me vote, I vote for the person whom I love, the person I feel is going to work. So you see President Ruto going to Western and saying that sugarcane farmers are going to be given dividends which they have not been given. Bonuses.
Yes.
That is what is hurting the common mwananchi.
Yes.
Mtu anakatwa payslip, the payslip you receive 80,000 shillings, but your account, Pesa in Africa account is almost 40,000 shillings. How is that helping you? Now it's going to be hard for President Ruto to win Nyanza and Western because of Musalia Mudavadi, Wetangula and Raila and those this finance, I don't know, finance minister whom he appointed. Yeah, it's going to be very tough. It's not an easy job. Yes.
In matters of voting, we have seen like when it comes to mountain, they call it Murima, right? Yeah, they normally vote in a block. They commit their vote to one basket. In matters voting, looking at Western, it is very hard because for a long time they have been divided by ethnics, they have been divided by the parties. Are you seeing like Ruto might have the opportunity to bring a Western bloc together now, including Bungoma, which made also very huge significance to his race for 2022 election?
You see, the race for 2027 election is going to be very tough. And what you should know when you are talking about Mount Kenya politics, these people naturally, I'm not trying to be tribal, or these people naturally from days of history.
Yes.
These people, them and Luos in elections ballot, they don't go hand to hand.
Yes.
These people are 2 ways apart. So when we are heading to 2027, we are in 2025. It is only 2 years and we get there to the election.
Yes.
You see, the election block of Mount Kenya will come when their personal interests will be catered. If their person will be there on the higher seat, these people will vote for that person even if they like it or not. And it is there historically. Mount Kenya, even if you put a Luo next to a person from the mountain, they will not vote for that person.
Yes.
Yes, they will not. They will only vote for a person who is against the Luo. And this is something we are fighting for as this generation of Gen Z. We don't know this political, the tribal politics.
Yes.
We want when someone is being voted to office, is someone who is capable of doing some job. But Mount Kenya, we are urging them to change, but their political bloc, we know how it has always been. These people will vote for people who their person mtu voting system, mtu wetu ako pande gani, anapewa cheo gani. You see, and that's why you see these people are learning themselves. They call themselves like they call a political strategy. There's no strategy. They're only fighting how they'll beat someone else, but they're not fighting how they can't move forward. And that's why I'm telling you, this Mount Kenya politics of 2027 is going to be a block system where mtu wetu ameweka kwa cheo gani, which seat is our person placed. If our person is placed at the cabinet secretary, we are not going to take that. Is he a deputy president? Is he a president? Or where is he sitting? A prime cabinet secretary, of which is a constitutional office, by the way. Yeah, so we cannot talk about that. We only talk about Mount Kenya. Yes, you want to be there, you want to vote. Yes, Regadi, Martha Karua. Where are you sitting? You are sitting on the side because, by the way, I told you earlier,
yes,
Raila Odinga will go the other side because he will fail. That is very certain. The next time I come, he will tell me, Musa, you say this guy will go and fail.
Yes.
He will fail and he has failed.
Yes.
Yes, that's what I'm telling Mount Kenya. It's going to be very tricky.
Speaking about Mount Kenya, speaking about Western Nyanza, we have seen like for a couple of weeks, a couple of months, the coastal region is not mentioned. Yesterday, Aisha Juma was somewhere speaking about how the coastal region is going to unite behind Ali Hassan Joho to make sure that they are having one man as their kingpin. Can coastal region also bring a determination toward the 2027 election?
You know, these coastal people,
yeah,
they are very unpredictable, unlike
yes,
Mount Kenya people. You see, these guys, they have two people whom they can say they are kingpins. There's Kivuda Kibwana,
yes, and
there's Ali Hassan Joho. And mind you, there's a guy here who was a UDA Secretary General,
yes,
Hassan Omar.
Yes.
You see, this guy is not a little political weight.
Yeah.
This guy vied for Mombasa seat, Mombasa governor, gubernatorial seat. He failed. And this is the reason why I'm telling you, these people of Mombasa, they are not going to champion for one guy to be their king.
Now, can the former deputy president of the Republic of Kenya, Rigathi Gachagua, unite with Eugene Wamalwa, former cabinet secretary for security in the Republic of Kenya, internal security, and Fred Okengo Matiang'i, the most performing minister in the former regime of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta? Can they unite together with other minor political families to make sure that they are creating a very strong opposition now that Raila Amolo Odinga is focusing on other interests that concerns Africa? Can they unite to make sure that they are bringing up an opposition that is going to hold President William Samoei Ruto accountable for the remaining 2 years of his first term?
When you talk about these people forming an opposition, these people first, they are fighting for their personal interest. If you see Fred Matiang'i, why after Ruto was elected, why did he flee away? Why did he go outside the country? Because he knew these people are going to come after him. This guy grabbed a land in Runda.
Yes.
It is in public domain. Fred Matiang'i,
yes,
grabbed a land in Runda. And for that reason, he was the interior cabinet secretary. So nothing was going to happen. When you talk about Eugene Wamalwa, of course we know he doesn't have a lot of corruption record. But these people can never form a strong opposition. It's about 2 months ago when Kalonzo was about to be bought into the government. if it was not about the people's rage, Kalonzo was going with this Wiper party, were going to be fished into the government. So these people can never form a strong opposition. They need a leader. They need they don't need someone with personal interest. Huh? You see, if these people, they could have incorporated someone like, let me say, a young leader who people, the Gen Zs are listening to. Right now they're listening to people like Salasia. They are jokers, but people that the Gen Z are listening to them. People are listening to people like Babu Wino. You see, these young guys, we are the largest population. As the young people, we are the largest.
We are the majority.
We are the majority. So if you tell me you want to bring someone who we are never part of us in the university to lead us way forward in politics, it's never going to happen. These people cannot lead an opposition. Kalonzo will be bought anytime. You see, the other day when Farah Malim said that he could kill 10,000 Gen Zs for protesting, people bring the rage to tell him, Bana, this person is in your party and you're saying you want to form an opposition. Why don't you keep kicking out of the Wiper party? Yeah, those are the things we are talking about. So we should not lie to ourselves that these people can form an opposition. They can never form an opposition. We are the opposition ourselves. Yeah.
Speaking of Eugene Wamalwa, we understand he has not had that Western favor, because many a time you find like people doesn't believe, or he doesn't have that massive support from the Western people. Can he be considered a serious contender on a negotiation table when it comes to a coalition that is going to oppose the current regime?
Eugene Wamalwa is a joker. In Western politics, Eugene Wamalwa is a joker. The only place Eugene Wamalwa is popular is Trans Nzoia County.
Yes.
I was born there.
Yes.
I was raised in Trans Nzoia. That is where Eugene Wamalwa, he was the MP of Saboti constituency. That's where Eugene Wamalwa can just stamp his political grievances. But you cannot tell me that Eugene Wamalwa is coming outside to lead a political formation. He's the party leader, I don't know, of DAP Kenya. That, you see, like a political party like DAP Kenya should be given to someone like Natembeya, who can speak the language of the people directly. You see, you cannot be a political leader who is a coward. You want to speak about the people and you don't speak about it. You only come on Twitter and say, oh, this should be done this way, and you should not have. You have the opportunity to say, do this the right time. Eugene Wamalwa cannot on the political part to speak about the Luhya community. Never ever. Even Atuli is better.
Speaking about the Luhya community, I'd like to pull you back a little bit. We have seen like most of our Western, or rather the Luhya leaders, are led by Francis Atuoli, the Secretary General, are led by former Kakamega Governor, that is Wycliffe Mbetha Oparanya. They have also all been sailing in the same boat. But now we have had George Natembeya, former Rift Valley Regional Commander, now the governor of Trans Nzoia. He has been having that movement of Tawe movement, and I believe like people like Peter Salasia try to follow his footpath and making sure that they're creating that unity when they speak one voice. Can Tawe movement be of sense to Western region, because it's speaking the language of the people as it's seen?
It's a threat. It's the threat to the people in power. Why do you think those people took their time, like Kimani Ichung'wah took their time to reply to what Natembeya said in Western? It is because it has a political punch.
Yes.
Yes. These politicians, they only reply to what affects them directly. Whatever Natembeya said in the burial of mother of National Assembly,
Moses Wetangula,
it is because it engages them directly. Yeah, that's why they had to reply when they're in Nairobi. And even when Kimani Ichung'wah spoke when he was there. This is because, you see, Vincent, when we talk about this Tawe movement,
yes,
it is not just a wave that is coming to pass. It is a wave that is there to stay. You see, young people are only watching for the young people to be in power.
Yes.
Natembeya is not so old if you compare to Mudavadi and Wetangula. He's younger. If you compare Salasia, he has gone to the side of Natembeya. And I'm waiting for Natembeya to be the kingpin of that region. Because that guy is speaking when the president is there, and he's talking about things that are happening by that time. Yeah, he's not picking sides to say, let's go and do, look at what we can do with Shah. No, see, do away with Shah, bring back the NHIF. Yeah, this is the conversation that people should be talking about. Yes, so that's what I'm telling you. The Tawe movement is going to be a strong thing. in the next 2 years before election. Yes.
Speaking about the opposition, now that you have rendered it like we don't have a strong opposition in Kenya right now. Last year, we saw the Gen Z movement that came up and stood for the Kenyans, millions of Kenyans who couldn't speak, stood up against the financial bill that was being imposed on a normal Mwananchi to make sure that they were not going to enjoy their living in the Republic of Kenya. Which way for Gen Z? Is the movement over, or is it just cooking for the year 2025?
Listen,
Yes.
as I sit here, I'm 25 years old.
Yes.
I'm speaking looking at that camera.
Yes.
25 years old.
Look at it.
I was there
Yes.
in the streets of Nairobi fighting for the same rights.
Yes.
Good governance. Ruto must go. We were there in CBD.
Yes.
We started from Kikuyu here when that office was being banned.
Yes.
We were around there when it was being banned.
Yes.
Why were the people practicing their sovereignty power? Because the people in government, they failed terribly to deliver for the common people. We were there. The Gen Z movement is not dead. I can proudly say the movement is not dead.
Yes.
It is just the strategy that has changed. These people got the social media. If the police service commission can deny the body of Mulolongo 4 people, if 3 of them are dead,
Yes.
1 person is still missing, and they come and post on social media that they are still investigating. What are they investigating that was not done before these bodies were found at City Mortuary? What are we talking about? We don't have a conversation. That's why I'm telling you, it's only the rage of the Gen Z
Yes.
that has gone down. But when it will come up, nobody will stop this move from going to State House. Nobody will stop us. I'm telling you. The other time they stopped us going from JKIA.
Yes.
But what did they do? They stopped Adani from acquiring the JKIA. That's what I'm talking about. It's only the rage that has gone down.
Yes.
But the Gen Z movement
Yes.
is still on.
Yes.
And if you want to find out what the IBC to be formed, you see it will be remaining 1 term. We go for one year. We go for the next election. You see how many MPs will be recalled. We will recall MPs. Even if it's 2 months to election, we will recall them so that they don't vie for the next term. Yes, and that's how serious it is.
Some of the Gen Z most outspoken young leaders, speak of Kasmol Makaore, they have come out maybe to join hands, and they have been seen in political races, political forums where the current regime of the political family have been conducting their political affairs. Can we speak of maybe the Gen Z being manipulated, or rather being misled, or individual being maybe marked and given some of the duties to keep them away from the movement? Because we understand that is how the political family will always organize itself. It only organizes itself by dividing the unity of the Gen Z.
Exactly, and that's what I was talking about. You see this guy going for AU chairmanship with the language of Miguna.
Yes.
He's a con man.
Yes.
He's a con man, yes. I was his supporter, but he's a con man. How did this guy take someone from the street? Kasmul is an activist. He's not a politician. He's an activist. You take the name of this guy, you take it to the state to be given a post of PS. And then this guy fails to be in the shortlisting. You know what they were trying to do? They were trying to cool down because they know the Gen Z are listening to this kind of people who have those media interviews and so on. These people have some say. So they take someone like Kasmuel, they tell him, we want to give you some post. So Kasmuel, because we can say he doesn't have that so much source of income, the family is looking up to him. And because self-principled, that's for him. But what I can say, this guy saboted that guy. I cannot crucify Kasmuel because even me personally, if these people come to me and tell me, Musa, we want to do some job, but you do an honest work, I'll do honest work. Even there are some people in the government, they are doing the honest job, but they are there because the government is fixing them. You see, there's this thing called the system. You are fixed into the system. So that's what they did with Mark Kasmuel. Why is he not given the PS post? Why was he not shortlisted? But the whole list, he was there. Him and this guy
Jack Oguda.
Oguda.
Yes.
Oguda was there. These people, they were not shortlisted. Why? Because they wanted to cool down the tempo of the Gen Z movement. Yeah, and that's what they were doing. Exactly.
Regarding Gachagua has been heard saying like he is having a plan of hosting the TikTokers to his place. does it come with other effects? Because we believe like the movement was mainly organized last year, was mainly organized online by the use of TikTok, by use of Twitter, and we saw it like it brought the Gen Z to the street, and then they demonstrated. Can Rigathi Gachagua holding the TikTokers bring an impact, or rather have some effects on organizing how the opposition can line up as we go 2027?
Definitely yes.
Yes.
Yes. You see, Vincent, you cannot degrade the power of social media. Do you know what made President Trump to be in that office? It is because the X and the endorsement from Elon Musk, because of social media. You see, social media can be used to spread facts and propaganda. So people use propaganda against you, and you are going to fail terribly, because many people of this generation that are in the social media. Say, let's speak about TikTok. You see, the generation that TikTok was acquiring before the US banned it went down, because the number of people in the US and those people in diaspora, they stopped using the TikTok. Now, if you say Rigathi Gachagua is going to engage Kenyans through TikTok, do you know how many people are in TikTok here in Kenya right now? There are millions of Kenyans in TikTok. So, if Rigathi, whether he's going to speak the truth, he calls himself a truth man, or is going to speak propaganda, the people will hear it because it's from the government. They will listen to him. He was there in the government. They are going to say, this guy was there. He's talking about what he saw there. And we all know here, because the exchange of words, this is not about the Secret Service or the National Intelligence Service playing gimmick. This is something reality. These people are broke up. They are not playing some games here. At Rigathi was impeached to play some games. This is not a political strategy. These people are far away apart. So if Rigathi is going to speak in people on TikTok, that message is going to go everywhere. As long as you are a Gen Z, you have a smartphone, and you can reach, as long as you can access WhatsApp. Some people will download those videos from TikTok and post them on their WhatsApp statuses, and the people will see them.
Late last year, we saw how the Kenyans, the Gen Z generation, came together and collected funds online to make sure that they created all those cards, posters, to make sure that that unity of coming to the street was successful. This year, if they are going to meet the former deputy, that is Rigathi Gachagua, can they have an opportunity to have some financial muscle when it comes to the support and sponsorship of whatever they can plan to do?
You know, if Gen Zs are planning to go to the streets with the support of Rigathi,
yes,
it is not going to be successful. The other time people are doing it willingly. It was someone like me, I have 10 shillings, I'm saying I'm going to print a placard. I'm going with it to the street.
Yes.
You see, but if Rigathi is going to sponsor this thing, you know what the state will do?
Yes.
They will start issues like the Wamunyoro investment.
Yes.
They allocated themselves a tender from the deputy president office to do something in the office of the deputy president. They'll freeze the account. You see, they'll freeze the account, and they say there are some investigations going on. So there's no money channeling from the account of the former DP to the people, because he will not be using money. He will be frozen. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
So if they put it at he will be sponsoring some demos or the Gen Zs to do something, it will never be successful. It is only the personal rage and courage from us that we will go to the streets. That is what is going to happen. But if someone is coming like Rigathi, or let me say Kalonzo is coming to sponsor some protest, never successful. It will never ever.
As we bring down the issue of opposition in the Republic of Kenya, can we say like Fred Okengo Matiang'i is the solution to the Kenyan government? Because we have seen people maybe post him, like try to mobilize towards him, and we have seen like many Kenyans are also falling in favor with him, with whatever he did in the education sector, with whatever he did in the national security sector, with whatever he did. Right now, people can say like during the regime, you could apply for a passport and then it takes as low as 30 days and then you had it. So is Fred Okengo Matiang'i a solution to the opposition and to the 2027 bid for the Kenya?
You see, Vincent,
yes,
as a Gen Z and someone who has closely followed the politics,
yes,
the Kenyan politics,
yes,
I can tell you, Fred Matiang'i is never and will never be a solution to the opposition, whether in government or not. You ask me why? Ask me why.
Why?
Matiang'i was there when Baby Pendo was killed during the 2017 elections.
Nairobi.
There has never been justice up to date. And Matiang'i is still a free man walking here on the streets. Now he's coming with some 2027 beats. Never.
Can people remember much about the
Rivayala,
yes,
the bodies that were being recovered from Rivayala?
Yes.
It was because of Matiang'i when he was a superior man in the government of
Kenyatta. Yes.
How do you tell us that someone who was a problem before is now coming to offer a solution in the new government? It can never work like that. We need some fresh blood in this government. Yes, we cannot talk about Matiang'i when he has never been charged with the things that happened before. We have to talk about the issues that first affected us. This guy is coming to the government. How is he going to help us? We have to ask him questions. How did you deal with this? Yes, because you cannot be recurring problems. You cannot recurring problems when you are hoping to solve them in future. They can never. Matiang'i is never a solution today, tomorrow, and the other day. Yes, we need some fresh bloods in between. We have some people who are capable of doing some politics and being leaders here. Yeah, but Matiang'i never. Personally, I'm not part of that.
Now, who can come and bring out Kenyans out of the captivity that we have? Misuse of funds, misuse of power, abductions, and everything. Who's the solution?
Personally,
yes.
If we are talking about solution to these problems,
yes,
I think to the people who have endorsed themselves, who have said publicly that they want this to change everything and all that,
yes,
I can say, okay, Omtata. Omtata, this man from Busia, the senator.
The senator.
This person has been fighting for our rights even before I didn't know even the constitution.
A friend to the court.
A friend to the court since I was 2007.
Yes.
This guy was being arrested for fighting the rights of the people. I'm just growing up hearing okay, Omtata. And this guy, I don't know if he voted for a seat here in Nairobi, and these people never voted for him. Okay, Omtata here in Nairobi City. And then he went to Busia and he was voted from there. So that tells us how about people of Nairobi, their voting decisions are very poor. And now I'm telling you, the person who can solve our problems and has never put his ambitions in limelight, someone like David Maraga.
Yes.
Yes, someone like Maraga, the people love him. The people know how he's capable of doing some work. Yeah, so that's someone we can say, want someone like Maraga to come on board and give us his.
And you have seen Saboti MP Caleb Amisi trying to jump and say, like, if you want freedom in this republic, if you want integrity, bring back Maraga. So are you of that support?
Caleb Amisi,
yes,
is a mouthpiece of Raila Amolo Odinga.
All right.
We cannot hear whatever Caleb Amisi is speaking.
But he's saying, like, bring back Maraga.
No, yeah, okay. He's saying bring up Maraga because we started it. We don't have a party. As a Gen Z, we don't
He's
have a
swimming with the airwaves.
He's just swimming with the air so that he can find a place where we can listen to him. Because he knows when he supports Maraga, we'll say, this guy is speaking some sense. There's no space Caleb Amisi is speaking. Caleb Amisi is a mouthpiece of Raila Amolo Odinga. He's just like Hassan Joho. He's just like Junet Mohammed. He's just like those all Kalatans who are speaking about the same language. Nothing new. Yes.
Now, how do you say about the government as just we narrow down? Like we've seen the UD government trying also to have a misuse of funds. We have seen allegations were there, allegations in quote unquote. There were 10 billion Kenyan shilling that was set aside to help Raila Amolo Odinga clinch the AU chairmanship. And then we have seen this morning Rigathi Gachagua claiming that the former, the current president, that William Samoei Ruto, offered him 2 billion Kenyan shillings to make sure that he's resigning and having an opportunity to vie for the next election seats. Which way for the misuse of funds in the Republic of Kenya? Are we using our funds in a wrong way and collecting too high?
Listen, we are not talking about rumors. We are talking about things that are published by the PSC, Public Service Commission, things that are published by the Foreign Affairs Ministry, that they are putting on the social media, that the government and the president himself, Ruto, stood before the podium and said, we are supporting Raila Amolo Odinga, not like a candidate, a single candidate, but as a candidate for Kenya. What that doesn't tell us, they are funding Raila Amolo Odinga to leave the politics of Kenya, because they know if you are vying for the AU seat, you are not allowed to participate in local politics. And that's what they are trying to do. They are funding this guy to go. And they are really doing it. How many times has Ruto gone to meet the heads of state from other countries to talk about the bid of Raila Amolo Odinga? not once, not twice, not thrice, severally. This tells you that they are using the state, the allocation from the state to use the money of the taxpayers, me and you. They use our taxes to go and fight for Raila Amolo Odinga because they don't want Raila Amolo Odinga to sabotage their movement of 2027 bill. Yes. They allocated the money, they are using the money, and it is in the public domain, and it was published it was gazetted that Raila Amolo Odinga is being funded by the government to fight for the right of Kenyans in Africa. Yes, it is there. Yes. I cannot just get the actual figures, but it is there. It was gazetted.
Yes.
And the president said it is for the Kenyans, not for Raila Amolo Odinga. Yes.
If you are the minister for finance in this republic, the treasurer now, we've seen John Mbadi trying now to say like he is earning 1 million Kenyan shillings, and then he's now moving out to hear from people who some of them doesn't even earn a single penny per month. What would you do? What is the best solution to make sure that as we collect high taxes from Kenyans, we are utilizing them and giving them whatever they are paying for?
You see, the people like John Mbadi who are speaking now because they are in the Ministry of Finance, first of all, they should not be there. They should be in the opposition. These guys speaking on behalf of the common man, they should be in the opposition. They are registered as an ODM party, and the ODM party is an opposition. So they are occupying that office before even they didn't even resign. They should have resigned, then they go to the government. These people are in opposition. They are the opposition working. Which country do you find opposition working for the government? So who is the opposition? Those people are in the government. So they cannot speak for us. We speak for ourselves. So Mbadi and his opinions, let him tell Ruto in their WhatsApp group. Let them talk about it. We don't know what we hear. We'll do things our own way. If today the common humanity feels like the country is not heading to the right direction, you just see there are some posters being produced and people are going to the CBD. And visit. If today they say that there is protest in Nairobi, I've never missed a protest in Nairobi. I've never ever missed. I'll be there. But because Mbadi is coming to Jivaji Gardens, telling people at blah blah blah, I'm never part of that. Yes. If some people are being sponsored within the movement, that is personal. You take the money for your personal gain. You see. But there are some people who are doing it from their inner, they are just doing it from their personal perspective. No one is paying them. So if Mbadi is coming to Jivanji, like yesterday I saw him with 1,000 security guards, and is coming to speak at public, it's called public, what is it called? This thing that is being conducted with Jivanji.
Yes.
Coming to speak there.
Yeah.
No, you can never take that. This is just the government just speaking its mind.
We can never take that from Treasurer Cabinet Secretary John Mbadi. That is Musa Akungu, the youngest political pundit in the Republic. We are taking a break, and when we are coming back with a lot here from the bench, because the bench is hot. This is M04 TV. Keep subscribing. I'm Vincent Okinda.